we'll continue with Tama Science. Okay, so again, let me remind you, you have to do those simulation tests, right? You have to practice. If you don't practice, it will be a problem. So you have to do the simulation tests. And I've seen a lot of you. When I say send 5 tests, I mean 5 tests. I don't mean 1. I mean 5. There are 5 tests today. All those tests today have different questions. All right? But those tests, they test your understanding. So send the 5 tests. Send the 5 tests. That's your average performance. Tells me more about how much you know than 1 test. Okay? All right. So let's repeat the basics. Maybe let's look at test 3. Yeah. Let's look at test 3. Maybe let's repeat test 3. So far we went to test 1, 2, 3, and 4. Test 5, we didn't look at that one, right? So this one was left for you to do. But let's go back and do test 3. Let's do test 3, okay? All right, so I'm going to close the comment section right now, right? Remember, when you are attending on TikTok, you answer on the poll, okay? Because it's a lot of people are here. So, poll. Let me close this. Let's close it. All right, so yeah, here's the first question, right? You are given this sign here, this symbol of sign, right? And then they're asking you, what does this root sign indicate in advance to our root users? Let me open the poll. All right, the poll is on. So the poll, Bacini, the first one there, it says it indicates an airport road, right? An airport road in good time. B, it indicates an alternative road going to the same city as the Tope road. And C, it indicates a Tope road. Which one's the correct answer? Let me know on the poll. Right, for those of you who are new here, the poll is on the top left corner there. You click on that, that's a poll. That's where we answer questions. All right, that's where we answer questions. It's a blue icon. Click on that thing. That's a poll. I'm going to close it in 10 seconds. So if you don't find it, then try to look for it in the bottom right corner, right? If you didn't find it on the top left corner, maybe because of your TikTok version, try to look for it in the bottom corner next to a share button. I'll be closing it in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's close it. All right, poll is closed. With 16 people out of 160 something people are here. 4 people chose A, 8 people chose B, another 4 chose C, right? Which ones were correct? The ones who said this symbol here, it tells us about another option or an alternative route, right? Another option to go to some city there. Those were the ones who were correct, right? An alternative, that A is for that. All right, let's look at this one. How about this warning sign? What does it tell you? Or what does it show you? A says it shows that the freeway ends. B, it shows that there is a narrow bridge ahead. And C, it shows that the road will narrow from Emasaidin. Which one's correct? A, B, or C? When you see this type of a warning sign, does it tell you Oguti a freeway ends? Does it tell you Oguti what's this? the bridge narrows from Emasaitini or the road narrows. You have 7 seconds. 7 seconds. Right, I'm closing it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's close it. Poll is closed with 19 people choosing C, 4 people choosing B, and 1 person choosing A. The 14, you guys were correct. Please make sure that you don't cram this sign, or you don't confuse this sign, but with this one. So the 19, I mean, who chose C, you guys were correct. The ones who chose B, please don't confuse it with the one for B. Let me see if I can say it quick and pass. If I can find it here, let's see. Okay, I found the temporary one, right? For a narrow bridge, it looks like that, right? Temporary one for narrow bridge, it looks like that. Okay, if it was permanent, it was going to be white, of course, the background there. But I want you to focus on that symbol inside there. That's a narrow bridge. Okay, let's move on. Next one. All right, here's another sign, given this warning sign. What does this road sign warn you of? Okay, let me start the poll. Let's open the poll there. Okay, Uti, there is a two-way crossroad ahead. Uti, the one-way road you are traveling on is going to change into a two-way road ahead. And we'll see, Uti, that you are, the two-way road that you are traveling on is going to change into a one-way road. All right? Yeah, which one is correct? A, B, or C? Poll is on. Let me know on the poll which one's correct. I'm closing it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's see what did we have. 34 people participated today. 20 chose A, 11 chose B, and 3 people chose C. Before we continue, there were many people who got this one wrong, which means you don't understand the direction in which you are traveling on, right? You don't understand the direction in which you are traveling on. Chances you don't even understand what does it mean when we talk about a crossroad, right? I'm gonna try and do my best here, right? Starting with the direction. The compass has 4 directions. Whenever you are moving up, the north direction, right? Whenever you interpret signs, that's your direction. That's the direction that you are going in. The up direction. That's the first point. Number 2, what does it mean if a road crosses or a crossroad? It means it intersects with you. As you go up, it goes like in your east or west kind of direction. It makes ispambano, a cross, right? with the road that you are traveling on. And then, if you understand that, you would understand why A would not be the correct answer. Let me not just leave you with that. Let me show you when would A be correct? Okay? I'm looking for the sign. Okay, I found a temporary one. I think it will do. Do you see? Let me open the comment section. It's a discussion pen. Do you see this? Hey, TikTok again about appealing. Do you see this sign here? Let's open. All right. Yeah, the comment section is open. Do you see this sign here? Can you see the difference between that and that? You are moving up, right? This one would have been a road that crosses with you. That one is not crossing. That's not a crossroad. Not making any crossroad with you, right? So that would have been a sign. Other crossroads, of course, if they want to keep them clear and straightforward, they will put them like this, right, to show you that that's a crossroad. So that was not a crossroad. So which one was the correct answer? Of course, it's warning me of something. This is something that I was not experiencing. I will experience it. What is that? I see 2 lanes there. That means it's warning me of those, like one lane of mine and another lane that's coming towards me. It means I'm not there. How can I warn you if you are already there? So you are currently traveling on a one-way road. Then, this road ahead, you will encounter another lane of oncoming traffic. It will be a two-way road, right? So B was the correct answer. I hope we are clear for those ones who are thinking C was the correct answer, right? Inside the warning, the thing that you see there, you are not on it. That's why it's warning you. It's the thing that you'll encounter ahead or you might encounter, right? It's either you'll encounter it if it's 100% sure, or you might encounter it, like maybe in the cases of, this agricultural vehicles. We don't say you will see agricultural vehicles, but you might, because it's a busy area for them, right? Or wild animals and stuff like that. So warning signs, they warn us for that, so that we can slow down and drive with a speed right. Are we together? So you are traveling on a one-way road, you will experience a two-way road as you proceed, not a crossroad. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's open the poll. I'm closing the comment section, right? Okay, poll is on. Let's close the comment section. Remember, guys, you participate on the poll. That's where you answer question as well. Poll. It's on. You're given this diagrammatic sign, right? And they're asking you, this road sign shows you that. What does it show you? A, Uti, your brakes will be checked at a stop ahead where you must stop. B, there is an arrestor pad ahead to be used when your brakes failed. And C, the road forks ahead on a steep decline and you should slow down. Which one's correct there? Is it A, B, or C? Correct answer, go A, go B, or C. Closing the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's close it. What are we having here? 31 people, 30 chose UP, right? So those red and what? Those, they're about ERS tapet, right? So yeah, the 30 people who chose that, you guys were correct there. So that's correct. How about this warning sign? How about this warning sign? The poll is on. TikTok routine. Hey, TikTok. Yeah. How about this one? Which one's correct here? We have 7 seconds. Does it show you a detour to the left? Does it show you a sharp curve to the left? Or does it show you an obstruction on the left of the road? Let me know. Okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's close this. 31 people again, 28 chose UP, right? That's a sharp curve. Where is this sharp curve? Ahead. It's a warning, right? It's ahead. Sharp curve to the left. Amazing. Next one. How about this marking this time? What does it show you? Let me start the poll. What does this marking show you? Does it show you to look out for school kids? Is it warning you about that? Or is it telling you to stop? Or is it telling you to yield to all road users and possibly to amateur trains also? Which one's correct? A, B, or C? Let me know on the poll. You have 7 seconds. 7 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the poll. Poll is closed with 39 people out of 200 and something people on this live. Let me remind you, you will see these should you decide to go and write. And the biggest dishonesty you can do to yourself is to go and fail what department while you saw these things presented in front of your eyes, but you didn't pass the debate. Okay, fail here. This is where you fail. Okay, so out of the 39, 29 they chose to see as the correct answer, and that's the correct one. That's a yield line. It tells us that we must yield. Yielding doesn't necessarily mean you should stop, but stop if it's necessary, right? It says approach this line with caution. If there are people that you have found it here, let them pass first. But if there are no people, you can continue without stopping at all. All right, next one. How about this one? The poll is on. Poll is on. Remember, the poll is on the top left corner there. Top left corner, it will have a blue clipboard. Blue clipboard, you click on that thing. That's where we answer. That's a poll. If you don't find it there, try to look for it in the bottom right corner next to the share button. All right? Okay? So you are given this command sign, and they're asking you, this sign shows you that you must turn right. B, you must turn right at the next road. C, you can expect a sharp bend to the right. Which one is the correct answer? A, B, or C? Let me know on the poll. Let me know on the poll. You have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's close the poll. Poll is closed. 47 participated, 20 chose A, 15 chose B, 12 chose C. Interesting, eh? Majority, not correct. Majority, they chose A, not correct. Let's start with the majority. What is it that they didn't understand that other people understood? You must turn right. If this sign says you must turn right, then this one means what? If that one says you must turn right, then this one means what? They mean the same thing. They just created two signs that look the same for no reason. I'm going to open the comment section. It's a discussion, right? Remember, if you understand these things, it doesn't matter which test you do. Right? It doesn't matter which test you do. So, we see that there is clearly a difference between the two, right? Can you see the difference? Let me know in the comment section if you can see the difference between this arrow, these two signs here. Spot the difference. Tell me what's the difference. Tell me what's the difference between this. Someone says the curve. Pelele say the tail. Someone says the curve, right? So, yep. Whether you set the tail or you set the curve, that's correct, right? The other one has a longer tail going down, showing a curve, stuff like that, right? So whatever you describe with that tail there, right? Whatever you describe it, you should know it. If it has that, it means do this 10 ahead. Don't do it exactly where the sign is. All right? So pass the sign a bit and then do the 10 there. That's what it means. So that's why A was not the correct answer. A was saying we should do the 10 exactly where we see the sign. Sisonke? So A was not correct. Let's go to the... So, which one was correct? B, of course, right? B. Let's go to the... How many people, Gonjela? 12 people who say you can expect a sharp bend to the right. You can expect a sharp bend to the right. Which one would have been that? That one sounds like a warning. They are telling you that, hey, Pela this, you'll find a sharp bend to the right, right? You'll find a sharp bend to the right. So start slowing down, right? There is a difference between a command and a warning sign, right? So C group, I hope this is a sharp bend to the right. The one that I will find ahead, right? I can expect it if this was the sign. All right, let's continue. Let's move on. I hope we are on the same page. So next road, this one, it's a key word to say, do it ahead, right? You must turn right at the next road. That's ahead. C is not a command. Yes, it's not a command, right? I showed you which type of a sign is, right? Okay, next question. I am closing the poll. I hope we were together on the previous one. Please do signs like that. Understand? Don't be this person. Don't be the person who agrees with the first option that they see there, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Be the person, in fact, who looks at the sign, they interpret that sign on their head, and then they look at the options, the available options. They pick the option that is close to them. Guys, I'm closing the comment section. Everyone who's commenting with an answer right now, please. We answer on the polls, right? Did I open the poll? Let's see. We answer go poll. Poll. All right, the poll is open. Answer on the poll. Answer on the poll. You have 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Answer on the poll. 4, 3, 2, 1. I am closing it. All right, let's close it. So yeah, out of these two signs, which one indicated the T-junction? A was saying the top one, B was saying the bottom one, and C said none of them. Correct answer, it is A. And 33 out of 57, they chose that, right? The one with the arrows that are pointing outwards, the one that tells you that there is a T-junction here. That's correct. Next one. How about these arrows? How about these markings? These paintings that we see on the road? What is their purpose? What is the purpose of these information arrows? The poll is on. Let me know that. Would they indicate the direction of a traffic flow on a specific lane? B, would they indicate a reserved lane for specific motor vehicles? C, would they indicate a lane that should not be used by Armalite motor vehicles? Which one's correct, A, B, or C then? Let me know on the poll. You have 5 seconds. Time is not on our side. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, closing it. 46 people participated. 42 they chose A, and that's correct. They indicate direction of traffic flow on a specific lane. Next one. How about this one? What does this road marking prohibit you from doing? A, it prohibits you from overtaking other vehicles on the public road. B, it prohibits you from crossing the line if you want to enter a yard situated on the other end. And C, it prohibits you from stopping on the public road. Which one's correct here? A, B, or C? Poll is on. You have 5 seconds. 5 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1. I am closing the poll. Hamba na bahamba, isikhathi siyashaya. All right, 44 people participated. 36 chose A as the correct answer. 7 chose B, and 1 person chose C. And that's correct. It's a solid line, solid. We do not overtake solid lines. Next one. How about this traffic light? Which is the correct statement about this signal? A, when the red man is glowing, it means pedestrians have priority. B, when the green man is glowing, pedestrians may walk across, and when a red man is glowing, pedestrians may not walk across. C, when the green man is glowing, it means that pedestrians should run across the street as fast as they can. Which one is correct here? A, B, or C? You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's close the poll. Poll is closed. With 54 participants, 51 of them they chose B as the correct answer, and they were correct, right? Correct. Red light means you must stop there. You don't have a priority. Next one. How about this marking here? We are talking about that yellowish line there. What does it mean when you say it? Or what does it indicate? A, it indicates an area of the road where disabled people should park. B, it indicates a pickup or a drop-off point for motor vehicles. C, it indicates an area of the road that must be kept cleared at all times. Guma intersections. Which one's correct? A, B, or C? Box junction. Isitshela ngani? You have 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm closing the poll. Let's close it. Poll is closed. With 49 people choosing C out of 56, and they were correct. It indicates an area where you shouldn't be stopping Guma intersections, right? Next one. How about this prohibition sign? What does it forbid? A, it prevents all vehicles entering all vehicles from entering where the sign is displayed. So that's what it prevents. B, it prohibits only heavy motor vehicles from entering where the sign is displayed. And to C, it prohibits unauthorized vehicles from entering where the sign is displayed. Which one's correct, A, B, or C? Does it prohibit all motor vehicles, or only the heavy ones, or only the ones that do not have the permission to enter? Which one's correct, A, B, or C? I'm closing the poll in 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's close it. Poll is closed with how many people? 60. Hey, TikTok again. 60 people, and out of this, hey, what happened? Out of that, we had 39 choosing C, 21 choosing A. The ones who were correct is that one, right? The ones who said, if you don't have permission, do not drive here, right? That's what it didn't allow. How about these arrows? How about those arrows? What is it that they do not allow? The poll is on. Time is up. Time is up. Of course, we didn't do well on this test, right? All right, so this is where I am going to end, good people. But before I end the session, let me remind you, when you look at signs, please make sure you read the sign yourself. What do I mean? I'm going to make an example. I'm not looking at a test. There is no question in front of me, right? You should be able, when you did this section, well, you should be able to look at any sign, maybe like this one, a danger plate, and be able to say, this sign, it means there is danger on the left, I must proceed on the right. Okay? And then when you go to the questions, you look at something that's aligned with your understanding of the sign. Most people don't do that. They go to the questions and then try to figure out the meaning of the sign from the questions. Don't do that. So let's do some signs here. Just quick things to help you remember how to interpret signs. Okay? I'm going to start again. Warning signs is these triangle signs, right? These triangle signs, when I see them, this normal triangle, they mean that I am warned of whatever that is shown inside this triangle. And this thing, I'm going to encounter it ahead. Right? That's a general interpretation. It will apply to any sign. Right? Any sign, what I'm saying, as long as it's a triangle and I see something inside it, that's the thing that's trying to warn me about. Right? This one, for example, it says, be on the lookout that ahead you will encounter a crossroad. Right? Make sure that you understand what type of a crossroad is this one. Right? Let me open comment section, because now what I'm discussing is not about tests. It's about all the tests in general when you interpret AMA signs. Right? So the comment section, it's on so that you can, in the next few 10 minutes as I'm explaining this, you can ask questions, right? So that's what it means. That's what it means. It's a triangle. Okay, it says that. That helps you, even when you see a sign that you didn't know. If I see a sign that I didn't, or a symbol that I didn't know, maybe like this. Let's look at this, right? It helps me if I know the general interpretation. I would know this. It means ahead I will encounter a roundabout, right? Or traffic circle, right? I will encounter that. Please make sure I set these ones, these type of triangles. Don't confuse this with this. Don't come and confuse it with the yield, right? Don't confuse it with the yield. Now, when you see this, now it's a different story. This doesn't mean ahead you will encounter a traffic circle. But in fact, you are in it, right? You are about to enter a traffic circle is telling you that yield or prioritize the cars that are moving in the clockwise direction. Okay. So that was it with AMA warning them. That was it with AMA warning. That was it with AMA warning. Again, remember that you are moving up in the up north direction. So you can't look at the sign like this and tell me that ahead I will find a T-junction. No, my route is continuing straight. So a sign like this will be telling me that ahead there will be a side junction. Sisonke, before I move on, are we together? I am going to another one. Sisonke, right? So warning signs, please make sure, even if you don't know these things that are inside this, just know the basics. Basics, I am going to encounter this ahead. I'm not there yet, if it's a warning sign, but it's warning me about that. So here, it's warning you that the road will become a single carriageway ahead. You are not in it yet. When you are still on a dual one, right? You are still on the dual one. All right. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell to interpret AMA warnings. Let's go to another group. We spoke about AMA commands, which were the groups that were saying you must do this, right? You must do whatever it is. I forgot to tell you here, the best way to study AMA signs, number one, is to look at these different symbols. Like this one is a symbol of pedestrians, knowing that that's a symbol of a pedestrian, right? This is a symbol of a minibus, all right? This is a symbol of goods vehicles, stuff like that, right? Knowing that first before you even go further. Why? Because these symbols, you will find them inside different groups of AMA signs, whether my commands, my prohibition, my warning, and stuff like that. You need to know what they mean, right? A symbol of an abnormal vehicle. So let's start here. So command, remember this group? This one was the group that was instructing you. The basics are, this group, it will instruct me. It will say, you must do something. If you know that, you are in a 50% there when it comes to now knowing how to describe the sign. If you know that this group, it says, I must, or something must do something here, right? That's, and the thing that must be done, it will be shown inside here. In this case, that symbol is for abnormal vehicles, so abnormal vehicles must drive there. They must drive there. Only them, no one else. What happens in a case of a number? You must drive here with a minimum of that number, right? If it's a speed, that's the speed minimum you should drive. What happens if it's a weight? It's still a number inside the command, it's minimum. So vehicles that weigh minimum that and above, they must drive there. Together? That's a number inside the prohibition. And the 10s, they will be shown by arrows. You must take this 10, take that 10. Please be careful of those tails and stuff like that, right? Remember the tail? It's set ahead, not exactly where you see the sign. All right. Another group, which is an opposite of a command. Command said you must, right? Those were the circle shape with the red border, circle shape with the blue background. Those were commands. But prohibitions, circle shape, red border, it's opposite. It doesn't say you must do this. In fact, it says you must not. You must not do that, right? Whatever that's shown here, you shouldn't do it. It doesn't allow that thing. I am just giving you tricks, right? So even if, again, even if you don't know what the symbol mean, for example, what the symbol mean, like let's say maybe this one, maybe this one. Even if I don't know that symbol, right? But I know that it says whatever that's shown here is not allowed. All right? And then, remember I said you should study symbols. You really need to know that a symbol like this is for reshocks, and then so that you can say, reshocks are not allowed there, right? You need to know those symbols. So yeah, that was a prohibition. Prohibition, again, when it has a number, unlike a command, here it's a maximum, right? So you can't pass this, right? We said it's not allowing this. It means I cannot pass this, right? That makes it a maximum. The number that I see here, it's a maximum of what is allowed. But anything beyond that is not allowed because it's a prohibition. And then I said whatever that's shown, it's not allowed, right? So can't pass or vehicles that are weighing 10 tons, above 10 tons, they're not allowed there. You can't drive above this certain speed and stuff like that. You can't, this one we saw, vehicles that do not have permission are not allowed there. That one shouldn't be confused with a no entry sign, which belongs under control signs. Yes, no entry says everyone shouldn't enter here, right? It's a no entry. Let's talk about another group. P or R. Remember this one? It's a reservation group, right? Its job, it was reserving some portion of the road to some road users. Hey, let me repeat that. I said if you understand these basics, you are half there. What is this? It's a reservation sign. This group with a rectangular shape, blue background, normally having a P or an R, it's a reservation sign. It reserves a portion of the road. It doesn't reserve a car. It reserves a part of the road. It doesn't reserve a building, right? So you can't be looking at, for example, you can't be looking at this and then you start telling me that there is police station there, right? There's a police station there. It doesn't reserve it reserves a portion of the road. For who? For some road users, right? A police station is not a road user, it's a building. But this reserves what, for example? It reserves parking for who? For police vehicles, right? Police vehicles, they use the road, right? That's what we mean, that it reserves for road users. Road users. Which road users? They will be shown inside this. So remember, those reservation, if it's a P, it will be about parking. If it's an R, it will be about a lane. Unfortunately, it takes me 3 days to make sure that we cover everything in this. These ones were just to remind you, right? Just to remind you about those, right? So I think it is enough. At least you have some basics. If you need more of this, remember, and you are not in my group, I have a group where I teach in detail and everything is there. They are my recordings, stuff like that. All right? So, yeah, someone is asking me how much is that group. To be part of that, it's only 350, right? It's only 350. It comes with the tests and everything. The link is in my bio, right? The link to that, it's in my bio. Other than that, could people, let me take one question. Let me take 4 questions and then I'm out. 4 questions. You said P. Here's the first one. What's happening? Alright. Someone was saying you said P is what? It's R stand for what? P stands for good parking is what? P stands for good parking is reserved, right? P inside, we are talking inside a reservation sign, right? Don't confuse that P with a one prohibition, right? Inside a reservation sign, P with parking is reserved. Parking is reserved. R with a lane is reserved, right? A lane is reserved. What's the difference between parking and a lane? Parking is for cars that are stationary. Lane is for cars that are moving. Okay. Where's another question? Let me see. I'll be starting AMA rules in the evening today, right? On my private class. Who's that? Handy? I'll be starting that. If you are struggling, I'll advise that you look at that. If, guys, even if 350 is, maybe it's too much for you as Lingani, right? There are my training videos there. They will teach you about that. Those ones are only 150, right? Just the training videos you get to the WhatsApp, you get to interact with me. It comes with simulation tests and stuff like that, right? There's more value in that. But the training videos on their own, it's me telling you these things. If you think I am explaining in the way that you understand our advice, good. We go and check those. Let me see someone else. Third question. In the reservation sign, what does the A in a circle mean? Reservation sign A in a circle mean? The symbol A. Number one, you need to understand again, what does a reservation sign mean? A reservation sign, it reserves a portion of the road for these road users. Now, you have to figure out who are this symbol here. Who are these road users? Who are these? What do you think? What do you think? Is that a taxi? What do you think? Let me give it to you. All right? Azola, an ambulance. Of course, right? It's an ambulance. All right? Let me take another two last questions and I'm Parking reserved with 12 means what? It means it is reserved for some road users. Then figure out what does the 12 mean. That symbol there. Remember I said study the symbol first. So in this case, that symbol is for high occupancy vehicles, right? High occupancy vehicles. What are high occupancy vehicles? Those are the vehicles that carry multiple passengers. How many minimum? 12. Minimum? 12. Last question, right?